Good morning, Year 7. Just sort of producing this one, and I was thinking about, right, well, where are they as far as the booklet is concerned? And I came to the conclusion that you are all but pretty much finished. I know last week when I did this video, we discussed about the fact that really we've got to the point where you cannot do a great deal more as far as work is concerned. Now, what I'm going to do first of all is just go through and just check that, hopefully with you, that you've done everything in the booklet, because I think at this point this will be our last time to do any sort of changes, any sort of additions, and we can sort of move on. We've got the design brief there and the manufacturing specification. All of that should be filled out now, so any of those blanks should be filled out. So for example, my product will be based on, you should know what that is, and we did fill that all in way before we even disappeared. We should have a nice mind map in here, which should have some images on it, like some little drawings of the animals and also some colour added. We should have explained what CAD is, both the developing and secure and also the excellent. And if you remember, we talked about the red line we don't tend to use, but the black and the green we definitely do use, and you should be able to remember that one. If you're not sure about it, try to put something in there. And you should have your phone holder in the centre here, stuck in. I know we don't have our pen holder because we never got to do the practical, and we didn't get the mouse mat, well, as we are going to do the backboard for the pen. The practical checklist, the quality controls, that first one for the acrylic phone holder should be finished out, but we never got the line bending because we didn't get it cut out. So that should all be done. The pen holder and the mouse mat, we haven't done those, so that shouldn't be filled out. What problems have you encountered? Oops, excuse me. My laptop is terrible with this type of thing. That little section at the top above the health and safety should be filled out, and all these bits on the health and safety should really have been done. You've got all of these different ones. You should really know why these are important. So, for example, having the appropriate shoes in the workshop. Well, we don't want to be getting loads of dust or other stuff onto our feet or our socks, and we also have a certain amount of protection there as well if we drop anything or if anything hits or flies into them. So shoes are very important. Having stools out the way, making sure out the way when we're doing practical, because they can be a trip hazard, and so on and so forth. So those should all be filled out. And then we then come down to this whole developing, secure and excellent. Now, you have done a little bit of the cutting of the NDF and the shaping in the NDF, so you could have a stab at that one. We haven't done forming of the acrylic, nor have we done drilling into pine, so you can't do those ones. And the theory section, we should have all of this finished by now. The softwoods one was a homework anyway, and we did also have the hardwoods one as well, so that should all be finished off. And if you remember, I also asked you to have a look at the man-made boards, thermoplastics and thermosets, so that was all last week, so that should all be finished off as well. Finally, we've got the evaluation. Well, we can't evaluate because we haven't got any finished products, so I can't expect you to fill those in, and I can't really expect you to fill this evaluation section in either. We did do the first glossary of words, so I'd like you to make sure that those are all done, and I'd like you to have a look. Really, one thing we haven't done is the second glossary as well. So just going through and getting the meanings of those, all of those 9 ones into there, should be all sorted out. Now that means that everything is done as far as I'm concerned inside the booklet. Now what I would like to have a little bit of a go at doing, and this is just purely leading into what we may end up doing for the last few weeks, is we are going to be having a look at, and I'd like to do a little bit of a project where we think about getting into the garden and beneficial insects. So what I would like you to have a look at, once you've got those finished off, is if I come up into my channel, so if I go to YouTube, and I'll include this on the actual bits and pieces. Now there are some videos, and I'll include these in, which are all about beneficial insects and the making of an insect sort of house, and what we call a bug hotel. So if I have a look at these ones, they're usually under my year 8 one, because I tend to do these for year 8, so you'll see what I mean about that. you can come down here, or if you've not remembered how to do it, just search for Mr. Sutton DT and it will bring you to all of these. You can see I have a lot of different videos and playlists that I create. And if we have a look at the Year 8 Bug Hotel one, there's quite a few different videos on here. Now, what I'd like you to have a look at really is the 10 beneficial insects one. It's a great video, it really is. I will put the link into this one. It's, 6 or 7 minutes long. And what I'd like you to do is try to do a bit of research into a couple of insects of your own choice. Now, this is something that I will pick up when we come back after Easter as a bit more of a focus, but this is something that you can be doing and making inside the garden potentially as well, and doing at home. You can even do it if you've only just got a tiny garden or no garden at all, or if you can get to somebody's garden after this is all, like, you might have neighbours or relatives, and certainly after this is all sort of finished and over and done with, this could be a bug hotel that you give to them. But so have a look at that video there. There are those other ones in there which are all about ecosystems as well. Feel free to have a look at that. So I'll put the playlist link, this link up at the top here, into there. You can have a look at that one and be getting on with it. Pretty much other than that, everything is finished now for that project, and I'm going to put it to one side. I think when we come back we might be using a slightly different system as well. We'll be using something called Microsoft Teams, so we'll see how that goes and how we can work with that one. But have a very nice break, keep yourself safe, and I will see you after Easter. Thanks, guys.